high-level Al-Qaeda commander end up inside the palace? Tonight, more proof that the Middle East is spiraling totally out of control. So is the country President Obama once called a success story. Now a lost cause? Iraq war veteran and Congressman Adam Kinzinger joins us. Good evening, sir.
Hey, Greta. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm fine, except it's very disturbing to have an Al-Qaeda commander inside the palace prison, or the palace house, rather.
Yeah, it's terrible. And you know, the sad thing is, you mentioned it in the opening, you know, President Obama called Yemen a great success for America's strategy, this idea of a light footprint. We're not imposing our will on people. But it's very bad. And, you know, the other issue is this. I mean, we're in the middle of negotiations, or I guess we had negotiations with Iran. And Iran has destabilized Yemen through the militia forces, the Shia militia forces, and destabilized it to the point where now Al-Qaeda is building an even stronger foothold in Yemen. I was in Yemen, I think, about a year and a half ago or so, and we met with the president of Yemen. We were talking about America's actions there, and it really seemed like, all right, our biggest concern is we've got to continue to push Al-Qaeda back, not just let them grow. Today, I mean, it all just seems gone, and Iran is largely responsible for this. If you weaken the body, you weaken the government of Yemen, a disease will take hold, and we're seeing a disease take hold there.
All right, so map this out for me. June 30th, we may have a deal with Iran, maybe not. I don't know what it is. I mean, there's some framework we have now, but a deal isn't done until it's everyone's signed it. If Iran continues to destabilize and actually aid Al-Qaeda in Yemen, where do we end up on July 1st?
Well, see, and that's what I don't know, and that's what concerns me, is the president's talked a lot about the idea of a nuclear Iran. And look, I agree, we don't want a nuclear Iran. Nobody wants a nuclear Iran. But why is a nuclear Iran so scary to us? It's because Iran has shown itself to be a destabilizing force in the Middle East, because it has shown that it wants Middle East domination. So it's one thing to put nuclear weapons on the table, and again, we don't know what this deal is. Iran says it's something totally different than what the president has told us and members of Congress. But at the end of the day, they have not put Iran's behavior on the table, and that's a bigger problem. So Iran is going to become flush with cash from the relief of the sanctions, which is bound to happen very soon, and they're going to use that cash not to build more roads and bridges, not to educate children and educate women. They're going to use that cash to prop up Bashar al-Assad, to continue to have these militias in Yemen, and to destabilize areas that we probably don't even know right now are on Iran's radar. And that's what ought to scare us. We're hitting a point of no return and of like critical mass.
You know, I mean, everyone's terrified of the concept of Iran having a nuclear weapon. Is it almost as terrifying, not obviously as terrifying, if Iran has a lot of money?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, look, we know the United States of America has weapons, but people don't live in fear of the United States of America having a nuclear weapon, because they know that we're not going to go out and just, randomly nuke somebody we disagree with, and we're responsible with them. Mutual assured destruction worked in the Cold War because neither the Soviet Union nor the United States wanted to destroy ourselves. We don't know that with Iran, so the nuclear weapon is a concern because the things they have said about the destruction of Israel, the great Satan, the United States, and the destabilization of the larger Middle East should be the big concern. So yeah, no nukes in Iran. I fully agree with the president on that. I don't think this deal does that. But at the end of the day, we have to put Iran's behavior on the table, and I'm afraid that if we agree to whatever this deal is going to be, that we don't have any ability to now come back to Iran and say, you have to modify your behavior.
30 seconds left. How do you modify their behavior? I mean, if they're going to continue to do things like what they're doing in Yemen tonight.
I think it's through tough sanctions. I think it's through raw military power, us having a military presence in the Middle East, knowing that they can't defeat, and also us supporting legitimate governments that are fighting against these insurrectious militias that are supported by Iran. There's a lot more we can be doing, and stronger economic alliances are key among those.
Congressman, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Greta.